Good morning, Brazil. Ron here. Uh, going to show you a few things, some of which might be new to you. Okay, so here's a contract effectively, and it suggests that, gee, for last month we should have done stuff for Sandbar, which we did, and I'll show you some of that, and some work with NAPI, and Felipe has that. And then for next month, we're talking about rule clusters for stops and product development, and rule clusters for exits and product development for the month after. Now we're going to get together at the end of this month, so this presentation also keeps that in mind. Let's take a look at some of the things. Let's look at Sandbar. Let's look at Sandbar. Okay, one of the things we did was we did a study, and we said, well, what happens when we take a system that we presently have on Felipe's machine and add the Sandbar system? So we're taking EP and we're adding Sandbar, and this is Sandbar in its probably simplest form. This was very unusual. I mean, it's, we like to see things like increase in productivity, and this particular test here was at, let's take a look. Buying. This guy was at 167, right? And if you notice over here, we're down at about 3% drawdown. Okay. Now here's something unusual that happened when we added Sandbar. Okay. So not only did we get an increase from 167, we got up to 170. I don't know if that's a 76 or 78, but nevertheless, notice here we're at about 2.5%. And this is important because this is the drawdown. So that's kind of neat. That's one of the things that's happened with Sandbar and that's part of our product development process where we mix and match different systems together to see what happens, to have an understanding of how systems interact with each other. Okay. So we have that. Let's see what else is on that wonderful little list. Let's see, on the list we have NAPI. See if I can find you some of that. Okay, so what I did was I sent Felipe a a thing so that his computer can, AFL it's called, so that his computer can run the NAPI system. And this is one of the historical studies we did with it. And remember, this uses futures, so you would expect to see numbers in the annual return department a bit higher than normal. So having 129% here is not unusual because futures are normally 10 to 1 if you versus doing something like the index itself. Okay. And what we did was we developed what we call a matrix. That's how this system here was developed. We developed something called a matrix just to find out what works best in terms of the NAPI. So for example, we know that if yesterday was a 1 or more in the NAPI goes from 1 to 4, okay? So if yesterday was a 1 or more and today was a 0 or more and added up together they were 2 or more, well then, gee whiz, for the next 3 days it has a short signal, okay? And so on the long side, for example, if today was a 0 or more and yesterday was a 1 or more, then, and in total yesterday and today was a 3 or more, then we have 6 days of down. Okay, that gives, is this down? No, I'm sorry, that's up, 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 up. So these are some of the things that are programmed into the software. Okay, let's see, what else do we have on the list? Okay, we have, and that's figuring all this stuff out and what goes where is part of product development. We've done some, Lord knows, we have a laundry list of different types of stops and exits on the product development side. There's nothing that I can really show you right now on the stops off the top of my head. We've tested out different fire exits, as we call them. Okay. So anyway, so looking forward to having a pretty good show down there. This is the good old stock. Let's see if I can show you a thing of the stock market. Okay. There we go. Here's the stock market. So here's the day where we were thinking that this is a good shot at being the high for years and years and years in the U.S. stock market. What does that mean for the rest of the world? They usually go up for a while. So at this point, yeah, this is what we had yesterday. Let's see if another way of doing this. These would be examples of stops. You could have a Willie Nelson stop, whereas if you closed outside here, you'd be an exit, but you have to know to use this particular pitchfork, not the other two. Okay, so this is what we have right now. We're still looking at this day here to be the high, and if this all works out, then where things will get exciting is once prices close down below this line here, and that'll come out to about here, and so that would probably take several weeks, maybe around the time we get together. Okay, so anyway, I will be glad to see you guys in Orlando, in Kissimmee, and I'll have a much better presentation for you then. See you then. Bye.